Okay, week 3, workout B of our 30-30 HIIT circuit. Okay, 6 different movements as standard. The first one is a core movement and a modified core movement. In fact, it's an all-over body movement. So we're going to do a modified Turkish Get Up. Okay, so what I'm talking about is when we modify this, we're just going to take away some of the movement or a reasonable amount of movement of the Turkish Get Up, and we'll start with the very beginning. So, kettlebell, pick a side. All right, we're going to stay on that same side throughout the duration of the 30 seconds, and then we'll swap sides on the next round. Again, we start on our stronger arm to get used to this movement first whilst we're learning it. That means it will go to our strong arm 3 times and our weaker arm twice. Okay, so I'm going to show you this from a couple of different angles. Right, this one just being straight here. The big thing about this is to make sure that the kettlebell and your arm stays perpendicular to floor at all times. So always look at the kettlebell. Right? If it starts to move into this position, when it gets heavier, you will lose it. So it needs to stay perfectly perpendicular to floor, vertical to floor. Okay? You move around the kettlebell, yeah? It doesn't move around you. Okay. So I'm going to go right arm. There's a load of different ways that you can get into this, but just make sure it's nice and comfortable, right? You can maybe turn onto your side and get into it. I just prefer to pick up the kettlebell, okay, because we're not going to be too heavy. As I lie back, I'm just going to press it overhead into that start position. Right hand, right knee, okay? I'm going to try and explain this to you whilst I do it. The movement at the start is a rotate and punch. So I'm going to rotate towards the camera and then punch up in the air. It is not just a sit-up, okay? That's not what it is, and its leg comes off the floor, okay? So it's a rotation movement and then a punch up to sky so I can come up to my hand, okay? It's obviously hard to do slow, so I'm going to do it a little bit quicker. So first movement, here we go. We'll rotate and punch. Sorry, not up to the hand, up to the elbow, okay? I'm then going to come up to the hand, up. Right, from this position, I can move this foot if I need to. I'm going to drive this foot through the floor and punch my hips towards the ceiling. Punch. Again, coming back down, reverse the chain, back to bum, then back to elbow, and then control the movement down to floor. Looking up at the kettlebell at all times. Right, I'm going to do this now twice. Quite quickly. It's hard to do slow and hard to do whilst I'm talking to the camera. Okay, so up, set in position, rotate punch, punch through. Looking at the kettlebell at all times, control, back to floor. Rotate punch, up, punch the hips, okay, back to floor. Looking at the kettlebell at all times. Once you finish, bring it down to 2 hands, roll yourself over, put the kettlebell down and you're done. We don't want to be bringing that kettlebell across our face at any point. Okay, very, very important. That's a bit of a long-winded one on the coach there, right? Next one is movement 2, kettlebell rack position, squat. Okay, so kettlebell into rack position, pick whatever side you want. You're going to stay on that side. We're going to go into normal squat. Okay, so feet wherever you want. You've got a different toe out for different people. Some of you will hinge more than you break at the knee. Okay, whatever you need to do to squat within the realms of your mobility. Okay, so big breath in. All I'm going to do is go into the bottom of squat, drive out. Okay, in and out. Get it nice and tight, this anterior core. Right, making sure I've got this rack position, which is shoulder up, kettlebell sitting into that position. Okay, third movement is machine. Whatever you're on, 7 to 8 out of 10. Fourth movement is a tall kneeling kettlebell press, single arm. All right. What we'll do for this movement is we will press for 15 seconds on one side, 15 seconds on the other. Okay. So kettlebell into position, into the rack, engage the anterior core so we don't go into hyperextension too much. Okay. Get nice and tight. Press overhead. Bicep in line with ear, trying to press as high as possible, then come back into the rack position on the control. So we drive and control. Drive and control. So from the side, again, I'm being careful that I'm not leaning back into it because it's too heavy, so pick the right load. Press control. Press, control. All good. Fifth movement, dead bug legs. Okay? An easy movement to do if you don't get it right. Right? So I want to be lying on my back with my head on the floor. Really important you don't bring your head off the floor, right? Because that will it'll put you in the right position without having to work what we need to work. Okay, so lie on the floor, head on the floor, into 90-degree knees. Okay? So from here, I'm going to engage my lower back towards the floor. So I'm actively pushing my lower back into the floor. Not too hard where it causes you pain, but just so you're engaging that part of your body. Okay? From here, I'm then going to breathe out as one of my legs goes down. Little heel tap to floor. Come back up. Okay? All the while I'm engaging that core, engaging that lower back towards the floor. So I'm trying to stop myself from going into extension as I travel down. Okay, then we'll change over to the other leg. Breathing out. Back up. Okay, reset the breath. Okay, breathe out and empty your lungs as your leg goes down, and then you will have to control yourself in that lower back. Okay, and all around that core area. Right, sixth movement is a down up. Okay, real simple movement. We've just done this on plates, right? Raised up on plates. Now, if you have poor mobility, or you're quite tall, or you just cannot get into that position, right? I want you to raise this up on a plate again. So you will actually put your hands to that raised up position, so you can land into a nice squat position at the bottom, right? If you don't land in that squat position, we're going to be in this position when we land, and we're prone to injury in that position, right? Just set the position about 15 times, and that was great. All right, so chest to floor, and then we're going to try and come up and land into a half squat, then stand. Okay? Being careful that we don't let our knees stay on the floor as we push ourselves back up. Okay, so nice and tight, all over body tightness. So here we go chest to floor. I'll try and do them slow. Back up into squat, stand. Right? I'll rattle through 3 reps. Nice and quick, right? You can see the tightness and the quickness of the movement. Okay, we're in, stand, in, stand, in, stand. Okay, I'm coming back up into that squat. I'm not doing this. And then standing up. Okay, modified Turkish Get Up, kettlebell rack position squat, machine, tall kneeling kettlebell press. Dead bug legs, engaging lower back towards floor, down up. Enjoy.